This is my Championship Game Week 1 review. Birmingham City 1, Ipswich 1. Birmingham were the better team in this game, having more possession, shots, and shots on target. In the 55th minute, Kyogo had a shot which hit the post and fell to Jade Stansfield, giving Birmingham the 1-0 lead and sending the home fans mad. In the final minutes of the game, Lyndon Dykes handballed it in the penalty area, giving Ipswich a very lucky draw thanks to George Hurst converting his penalty. The penalty itself was controversial, as there's nothing Lyndon Dykes could have done about it, but in the Premier League, they get given. So overall, a very lucky point for Ipswich and promising signs from Birmingham. Southampton 2, Wrexham 1. Southampton were quite clearly the better team in this game, having an overwhelming amount of possession, shots and shots on target, highlighting Southampton's capability in attack. It did take them 90 minutes to score though, as Josh Windass converted his penalty in the first half, giving Wrexham a shock 1-0 lead for majority of the game. Ryan Manning scored an incredible free kick in the 90th minute, then followed up by Jack Steffens scoring in the 95th minute to give Southampton all 3 points. For Wrexham, there's a few positives to take, however overall Southampton were the dominant team in this game. Charlton 1, Watford 0. A very good win for Charlton on the first game of the season. If they can be solid at the back, then they will be a very difficult team to beat, especially at the Valley. Charlton probably did deserve the win in terms of stats anyways. Harvey Knibb scored in the 94th minute, which really set the tone for Watford's season in my opinion. However, a great win for Charlton to start the season off. Coventry 0, Hull 0. As a Hull fan, I saw a lot of positives in this game. Defensively, we're going to be extremely difficult to beat. Semi Ajayi and Charlie Hughes' partnership is incredible, as both were immense at the back. Both teams definitely lacked in the final third. Maybe it's just because the season starts and, they haven't brought in all their attacking players, but I did notice that. Both teams had maybe one big chance all game, which isn't great and really showed the lack of quality in attack in that game. Sakamoto was a threat all game, really showing what quality players Coventry have, especially in attack. That's why I was really surprised why Coventry were so poor in this game. As the season progresses, I can definitely see Coventry getting better like they usually do. But from a Hull perspective, I'm really happy with the point and hopefully we can build on that against Oxford. Middlesbrough 1, Swansea 0. Judging from the stats, this game didn't really seem action-packed. Middlesbrough were the better team in this game and rightly so got the 3 points. A positive start to the Rob Edwards era, and Morgan Whittaker looked very promising, which is 2 great signs for Borough. Norwich 1, Millwall 2. Very impressive win from Millwall. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people this season. They've just got quality players in defence and attack. And yeah, Alex Neil was a great manager in my opinion. The overall game was definitely very even. There's no doubt about that. It was just a case of Millwall took more of their chances. Both had 3 shots on target. Millwall scored 2, Norwich scored 1. It's that simple. I do think both teams have a lot of quality. My prediction is both teams will just miss out on playoffs. But, I could definitely be wrong. I could definitely see Millwall getting into the playoffs. And maybe if Norwich sort the defence out, then maybe they could too. Oxford 0, Portsmouth 1. It seemed a fairly even game. Maybe Portsmouth did deserve the win overall, as Oxford had 18 shots yet only 4 shots on target, and no goals, implying they was very wasteful in attack. Oxford's main tactic is long throws and set pieces, which is what League One teams do, which clearly shows that they haven't adapted their tactics. Which, in all fairness to them, it worked in League One, it worked in the Championship in the first season. However, I just think if you don't have enough quality players and the teams around you are improving, then it's going to be very difficult for Oxford to stay up this season. Starting the season off with a win, especially away, is very positive, and I definitely think that Portsmouth will 100% take that and build momentum into the next game. QPR 1, Preston 1. I knew this game would end the draw. Wasn't really a lot to talk about in this game. Once again, it seemed like an even game, and a draw is a fair result for both sides. I think both teams probably have similar amount of quality in the squad. Maybe QPR edge it, and there was probably slight favourites in the game. However, a decent point for both teams, and they can definitely build on that in the next games. Stoke City 3, Derby County 1. I didn't really expect Stoke to dominate this game as much as they did. Yes, they was losing in the 60th minute, but responded perfectly when Stoke scored in the 70th minute, 95th minute and 99th minute to sink Derby. Sorba Thomas is going to be an incredible player for Stoke as he scored in this game. I think he's probably going to be their star player this season. As for Derby, a little bit disappointing, but I think Derby will be safe this season. West Brom 1, Blackburn 0. A winning start for Ryan Mason as Isaac Price scored in the 15th minute, and that was enough to secure the 3 points. It seemed like a pretty boring game. Blackburn only having one shot on target all game does concern me going into the season. I think their squad is overall really average. The fact that they finished 7th last season is a miracle in itself. Of course, they did have John Eustace for half the season, and he got them into the playoffs, but now they don't have him. I think they're definitely going to struggle this season, and their average squad is going to showcase. And now for the big one, Sheffield United 1, Bristol City 4. I'm making a separate video on Sheffield United tomorrow, but a really disappointing start for Ruben Sellers. Of course, Bristol City lost 3-0 in the first leg, and then they lost 3-0 in the second leg to Sheffield United. Really give them the extra boost. You can definitely see it in the game. They really capitalised on every opportunity they got, and Scott Twan was incredible, scoring a brace. Very good start for Bristol City as they go top of the league, and who knows, maybe they can finish the season in the playoffs. Leicester City 2, Sheffield Wednesday 1. The Sheffield Wednesday fans were protesting against Shanseri. They come in the away end in the 5th minute to show their anger against Shanseri and how the club is run. The fact that Danny Rowe just left that easily because he just didn't want to be a part of it. The fact they've got 16 players at the squad and many players leaving because they've not been paid. It was a disaster class. However, I will admit, I thought Sheffield Wednesday were brilliant in this game. I was expecting Leicester to win 5-0. I said that in my score prediction. But they put up a great fight. And if Barry Bannon didn't get sent off, then they probably would have got a result, to be honest.